Welcome back, friends. My name is Rebel Thunder, and I'm about to invade your house with another epic gameplay. This is the Callisto Protocol. So, without further ado, let's just dive right inside. I forgot to set my clock. How irresponsible of me. But, without further ado, it's about to go down. Now, last I left off... Oh my god, dude, I wasn't here. I left off long ways ahead, but I guess let's just continue this part. We're, actually heading towards the waste protocol, or, waste, what is it called? Management. And we got this big evil robot we gotta take out, but we can't just... He saw me and I didn't even go around the corner. Crap. This dude's a total cheater. And I just realized my headphone is making crazy amounts of noise. Oh my god. Let's get this. This is actually kind of difficult because, you know, you can't let him get close to you. Or you can't be in the open when he's around. You have to try to hit him in the head. Oh my god, this is hard. Yeah. There's only one way to go around this, and that is you have to take the robot out. There's no other way. So, second time's the charm. We gotta make it happen. Okay, let's see. He's gotta be here somewhere. There he is. Oh my god, and right off the bat he sees me. Crap. Oh, dude. This guy's so hard. He's like, this game is not difficult. This is like the only part in the entire game that's a real challenge. So, third time's the charm. Let's see what happens. I see you walking around over there, big ugly robot. You're not gonna get me. I'm gonna get you. Yes, that's how it's gonna go. Oh, dude. Yeah. Got you. Got you, bitch. Take this. Ah, no, la, la, la. Okay, wait. No, I thought he was gonna... I thought I was just around the corner just enough that he wouldn't hit me. But I was mistaken. So we got a fourth time the charm. Let's do this. That's a real deal right there. Oh my god, dude, he's a total cheater. I think he's had enough of our crap. He just... Okay. Any day now. It's gotta happen. Gentle viewer, please. Thank you so much for watching. I got to make this happen. Yes, this is like 5 times. Oh no. I got it last time. I got my centers of focus. I got my chi. And I made it happen. So I'm gonna do that right here, right now. Wish me luck. So, Mr. Robot. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we're getting some good shots here. Oh no.
Resuming combat activity.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Let me just make sure he's down, because damn robots and their gunliness and all their robot mechanics and all that crap. Now, we're about to... This is the reason we can't just run past this joint. Is because, yes, the robot has a ranged attack. Doesn't matter how far. This guy will jump in front of you, and he will alert the robot. Okay. So apparently, his first choice is a grapple. Oh my god, dude, I can just swing for the fences and miss completely. That's a possibility. Wait, no, no, no. Oh no, crap. It's a slugfest. It's no longer the Callisto Protocol, it's a boxing match. I guess I'm still wired trying to take down the robot, but we're past that. So, let's see. We are continuing to waste disposal now. I hope the screen isn't too bright for, like, the video, because my room is kind of bright. I have a light, so I don't know if I set the game brightness too bright. I just got my fingers crossed. Let's hope. However, this is what I'm talking about. This is pretty much one of the most challenging parts of the game until you get into the later parts, like the further recesses. And we got our good old friend Elias with us. He's a pretty cool dude. He's helping us through the entire Callisto Protocol. And he's a chill bro. He's down to earth. You know, he's got our best interest. So we gotta make sure we got his. But with knowing what's gonna come on ahead, we're gonna be coming across a new type of enemy. This dude actually turns invisible, and he's got like spider legs. Yes, you heard it here first, folks. We're about to come across some evil, evil monsters. But this is, Elias just gave us the warning. This is pretty much a trap for any dude who wants to escape. Okay, pretty much, as you can see, the screen lights up. Holy crap. And you've got these big saw blades that are just looking for Jacob Lee. And yeah, you want to make sure you avoid them at all costs, because you'll become a hamburger if you don't. And I ain't on the menu for today. I'd much rather stay off. Okay. Oh crap. I'm just gonna run because I can. I don't have to worry about that dude. He was the one who became hamburger, or shish kebab, or kablen sandwich. But here's the recipe that I love so much about the Callisto protocol. In a prior episode, excuse me, I may have mentioned just about the artwork that went into making this game. It is phenomenal, and not only it has. We're about to go to waste management, which you can imagine what it's going to look like. But before that, we have a vantage point to Jupiter. Dude, this is insane. This is why I fell in love with the Callisto protocol. I've not seen artwork like this game in ages. And it's just remarkable. The amount of work, the amount of imagination that the developers put in this. I believe the developer was Glenn Schofield. And I
get you back to that life. You just gotta stick to the plan, which means you need to get your ass to the habitat dome.
How the hell am I supposed to get there?
Look, no one said this would be easy, but trust, I got your back.
What is that supposed to mean?
Look, I used to work down there, collecting research, you might say. I made some recordings. The software I uploaded to your core will trigger them when you get close. Just follow them and you will get to the dome.
Then what?
I'll pick you up at the tram station. Easy peasy.
Alright. I'll be in touch.
I doubt it, man. There's nothing easy peasy. It's straight up. That's like a mile away. And we gotta go through waste management to get there.
Just get a move on, yeah? There should be a hatch nearby.
However, here's the thing. This is probably the first part of the game, when I played it originally, that just took my breath away. Because just the view, holy crap. Yes, this is pretty much artwork, the definition, in the purest form possible. And this is just the start. I perhaps should have paid more attention to the previous parts, but we're about to come across waste management. They just put so much tubes. Everything has a unique structure. There's like no copy and pasting of video game assets. This is all. I do believe though, as I was saying, the guy who took part in the development of this game, Glenn Schofield, he created the original Dead Space, and he's a total artist. He knows a thing or two about creating an awesome game. And in the final product, you can certainly see Glenn Schofield outdid himself. But before I get into that, oh my god, what's this? Some kind of mid... Okay, I can't even read what that says. Mid-aphelion. Okay. I just know it has a skull. The light's too bright, I cannot see. I'm gonna kiss goodbye to the view of Jupiter, because we're about to go in a much less nicer area. Yes, but this isn't the last we get to see of Jupiter. We're gonna see a lot of cool shots, but once we get to the habitat dome, as you can see down there. So, good luck, Jacob Lee. Let's just jump right into this. Well, we have a way, I think. We still have to go across a few levels. You know, the elevator. I don't know if we get to meet with Elias and Danny again. So far, I know it looks like Danny's evil. Do not trust your gut on this one. There's a reason why she did what she did. But, Elias, you can see through him. You can see he's a good guy, and he's just got our best interests. So, oh crap. Oh yes, title card, Habitat. This is the part of which I was referring to. I mean, just look at all those pipes. The detail, this isn't like somebody just decided, let's create a room, and the day's over. No, they created the room. They created the pipes. They created all these wheels, the textures, the rust, the steam. This is the definition of artwork. And I remember just playing this game. I have not felt this way in a long time about any game. Maybe except Batman Arkham Knight, but that game was also a phenomenon. Back in, I think that was a PlayStation 4. However, as you can see, I cannot stop being excited. I'm just crazy about this. This is incredible. The person, whoever created this game, because I don't know if Glenn Schofield was the lead developer, or how the idea to the Callisto protocol even hatched, but they went into this saying, we're going to create something truly special that's probably going to be talked about for decades. Now, this game is, as a matter of fact, so special that they didn't really do any expensive marketing. I don't really remember seeing any. I just remember clicking on a video one time, the Callisto protocol. It was all these spinning machines with sparks, and he's pretty much grabbing an enemy with like this gravity thing, and he's tossing them into this, and that alone, that was like Dead Space, but new, remade. And that's exactly what this game, when I played it, I remember thinking, man, I have not seen a cutscene like the introduction in such a long time. And ever since, I've just been hooked. This game, if you have not played the Callisto Protocol, if you don't own it, I highly recommend you go check it out, you buy it, and you play it. Because, yes, you will not be disappointed, dear viewer. This is remarkable in the highest degree possible. Now, this is waste processing, number 1. Here again, I want to draw attention to the level of detail once again, as these huge vents, and just, there's no reused assets in this game. I just think it's phenomenal. I'm getting too crazy about this. I actually have to start playing the game. Because I'm just so excited that, oh my god, dude, Callisto Protocol. I can't stop. Now, we have to move this part in order to... Ooh, I just put my headphone inside, took me away from the focus. Let me turn the volume down just a tad. But we are going to move this, and there's actually a few cool items, dear viewer. So be sure you get them. There's an energy converter, a regular one, and then there's a pristine one. So we got to make sure we pick those up because we also get a grip battery. However, the management of inventory and items in this game, I do have to say that is the only one feature that I thought was pretty lackluster. They got it all. They got everything times a million, except for, I feel like they pretty much just scribbled on a piece of paper with a pencil and said, this is going to be the upgrade system. That's pretty much how basic it is. I mean, usually in these types of games, like, yes, they make these whole skill trees, they make branches, they make different columns for things you can upgrade. That was the only thing. I mean, I think there's only like a total of like 3 upgrades for the pistol. Yes, that's it. But, honestly, I don't know why I'm complaining about that. That everything else is pretty much done to the maximum degree possible. Now, it's about to get pretty smelly in here, so you best hold your nose, dear viewer. This is about to go waste processing. Let me turn the volume down again, because my headphone was about to fall out, so I had to put it back in my ear. And now all I hear is Jacob just crawling his way through the vents. But we're about to come into a scene. This was actually another scene that blew me away after the revealing of Jupiter. Honestly, I don't know why. I think that the color green just has such a strong presence. And holy crap, if I did not turn the volume down all the way. That, yes, I just remember seeing this, and it's been a long time. This is disgustingly fun. That's the best way you could describe this, because they say that the colors orange, red, and green tend to have like the most attention catching. Honestly, green is supposed to represent toxicity, but when you think about it from an evolutionary standpoint, it actually means nature. So I don't know, if anything, we should be fine-tuned to not get such a strong, how do you say, incentive from green, some kind of illicit response. However, I'm getting too much into evolutionary things and chimps and what have ye when I should be playing the Callisto protocol. But yes, this room in particular, I love the way they made the, there's just enough so that it never gets stale, because it's cutscene, environment, and all in between. What they nailed is the gameplay. Take everything out of the equation. The gameplay is addicting. Now, this... But then again, as I said, Glenn Schofield, he was one of the creative directors for this game. Of course, you got to expect something phenomenal whenever he does a game, because everything he's ever made in the past has had a touch of Marvel to it, and especially the ones he made, you know, as a lead director, it's always been nothing but the best. Now, this game, I'm sure probably had to have a lot of different artists, a lot of different inventors, not, what is it called, idealists, people to pretty much come up with the cinematography, the colors, how everything would be mapped out, of course. But I would have definitely liked to be on that team. I think I would have added a couple, but as a matter of fact, they got it all. Now, we're about to come across the, invisible spider monster. Here goes. And the blood just splashes on the floor. Quite gruesome, but it's a taste of what's about to come around the corner. So, that being said, let's see. We're not quite out of the woods yet. We're on our way. This is pretty much all of this, I tend to believe, is waste management. But dude, the way they just use the color green, I can't say I remember a game that did it quite well as this. Honestly, I think this game did stuff better than many other games ever did. And not just one thing, everything. That's really why I think I like the game Callisto Protocol. I honestly can't recall a place that's did body horror and all that, what is it, pretty much grossness like this game. There was actually, if I recall, some kind of game. It was like Spartans. I can't say I recall the name, but it had these executions because it was all melee combat, just like this. That's the one thing. I wish that every combo ended with an execution, but I just love the impacts. They got everything right. Just the way the camera follows the stick and just boom. It's like, but here's the thing, he's got pretty much a stun rod? He uses it as a baseball bat. Honestly, I can't argue with the decision there. I think that's pretty cool. But in the beginning you pick up a pick. It would be cool if you could alternate between the two, just to tickle your fancy, scratch that itch you may have. But what I do have to say really does suck are the guns. Because they actually do. I mean, they don't have a purpose. I mean, melee does everything, and the guns do so little damage. Then again, I've never quite actually used much of the shotgun. I'm pretty sure that is quite powerful. And then towards the end, you get like an assault rifle. But, as far as I can tell, melee is all you need. They nailed it. They made it perfection. Now, this is actually a part I did a recording yesterday. So, dear viewer, if you made it this far, you probably just watched yesterday's recording redone. Because I ended up here, but I don't know what I did. And I'm probably going to make the same mistake again. So I end up all the way back in the vision of, where you got Jupiter in the big window. Because, yes, that's, in essence, where... Well, I pretty much went past this part and don't know where I left off. I thought I went far enough to say, hey, we pretty much made it. This is a checkpoint. If I leave the game now, it's going to save right then and there. I was mistaken, so I'm going to make sure I don't make that mistake again, because I do love playing this game, but I know the viewers are going to want to see something, of course, crap. And speaking of which, we get one of those ugly spider monsters. I know a little variation is entailed, and if I'm playing the same spot over and over, it's going to get repetitive after a while. It's going to get a little boring, so I don't want my channel to have boring videos. I want them to be the coolest they can possibly be. But where'd that guy go? I'm not much for disappearing enemies. They're as annoying as they are scary. I know if I'd had the light completely off and I'd be playing this with like some excellent headphones, dude, the Callisto protocol, oh my god, I'm impressed with it as it is. And I'm kind of just doing a whole bunch of commentary. You need to go play this game if you haven't. Highly recommend you do. So, but I'm actually kind of running out of time. I'm gonna have to continue this in the next episode. Oh no. Get the tentacle face monster. However, I want to say, ladies and gentlemen, this might have to cut it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.